And welcome back to What If Dragon Ball Super Broly went to Earth. Forgive me if I'm a little off. It's been a long day, been a long week, and I am on the slightly exhausted side, physically anyway. I'm still awake, but if I seem a little less energetic, there's your reason. So I'm just doing getting my What If out for today. I believe we're on part 5 now, if I'm not mistaken. I just did part 2 yesterday. Part 4 yesterday. I'm tired. So yeah, so we're on part 5 now. And last time on Dragon Ball Super What If, um, so Rads showed up on Earth only to be met with Broly and Paragus, who Rads was not expecting to see. He didn't expect any other Saiyans on that planet. And he's like, "Where's my brother Kakarot? Kakarot? You mean Goku?" Guy's like, "Wait, Kakarot's a Saiyan name. Do you mean Goku? We don't know a Kakarot, though that could be his true Saiyan name. We know him as Goku. Would you like to meet him? Yes, I'd like to meet my brother and see why he hasn't done his job." He's like, "Oh, of course. We'll just show you. But on the way, why don't we have a little chat? You see, Rattans, we know the truth of what happened to planet Vegeta. Frieza destroyed it. And they're flying away. Frieza destroyed it. So truth Frieza destroyed. If there are any remaining Saiyans like you, me, Broly, and Kakarot, if there are any more like them, we need to band together, take back the Saiyan race. Together we can take down Frieza for good. What do you think of that?" It's tempting, I won't lie, but I first need to speak to my brother. And then, of course, you'd have to still convince Nappa and Vegeta, which the name Vegeta does trigger Paragus a little bit. Like, "Vegeta, the king is dead." No, you mean Prince Vegeta survived, did he? Hmm. Now, keep in mind, in the original movie, Dragon Ball Z movie, yeah, he hated Vegeta for what his father did, which makes no sense, but whatever, grudges. But in Super, I think he still harbored a grudge against Vegeta, but he was really only doing what he was, tasked by Frieza, asked by Frieza to do. I'm still sure he still harbors a grudge against Vegeta, but having been in a relatively good living scenario for all this time has probably mellowed him out. Whereas on Vampa, it wasn't that good. They had to eat bugs and weird furry beasts to survive. So they finally get to Kame's place. It's like, oh, hey, Rolly, hey, Paragus, what's up? We're waiting for you. Now, keep in mind, I don't remember if I mentioned in part 4 if Bulma and Paragus had gotten together, or Bulma and Paragus, yeah, but I'm looking for a good time. It's been a while since I've had a good woman. George probably smacks his dad around. Okay, I'm sorry, jeez. Um, but no, I don't think I recall saying if Broly and Bulma had gotten together. But if I didn't, I would infer yes, they did get together in the 5 years. They're not married per se, but they're together. And Bulma goes up and says, "Broly, you're back." I was like, "Yes, hi, Bulma." I was like, "You're back." I was like, "Oh, who's this?" It's like, "Kakarot. What has become of you? Were supposed to take over this planet." It's like, yeah, no, I it's like I was. It's like, "Don't you understand? Don't you remember? Did you hit your head or something?" Yeah, from what I recall, the little I recall, after all, I hit my head. He laughs it off. "This is a serious matter, Kakarot. If you're not capable of doing your job, they're going to send more to this planet, and you won't be able to stop them. Nappa and Vegeta are leagues beyond my power." Nappa and Vegeta? Don't you understand? Look, I've been listening to what Pericus says. What he says does make sense. But we won't be able to take on Frieza and the others without aid of Vegeta and Nappa. Don't you understand? They're the top of the top. They're the strongest of our kind, the remaining. It's like, really? Are they really? They're stronger than me and Broly and Paragus? And it's like, really? Have they gotten that strong? Not realizing that Rad's doesn't, because Rad's scouter maxed out around 21,000 for a burst. So if Broly, Paragus, or Goku power up, they're gonna blow that Stardust Kingdom Hell. Or Kingdom Hell, Kingdom Come. That being said, that would still be in the realm of power that Vegeta is actually technically at. 21,000 isn't much higher than 18,000. So tell me, Do you know exactly how strong they are? I don't have any official latest power updates. Last I knew, Vegeta hovered around 18,000. Nappa's power ranges. Now here's the thing: people kind of try to correct me sometimes on the whole 7,500 thing for Nappa's full power. And while there is no official Daizenshuu power for that, it does make sense that his power is greater than the 4,000 we see because he does power up to fight Goku. Goku was still edging him out, but it did close the gap, and we know Goku's power is officially stayed at 8,000 at that point. But last I knew, Nappa's power was somewhere around 4,000. Well, without a proper scouter run, we haven't really been able to figure out what our power levels are. We can sense them, certainly, but not. We don't really have a base idea for them. And wait, you can sense energy levels? Well, I can tell you right now what he's done. And then he's like, all right, well, hold on, Kakarot, let me see what you have. He's like, sure, let's see. I think I'll try about 10%, which keep in mind, Goku's got a power level of 35 million. So he goes 10%, and this guy really blows up. Just was like, what? Yeah, and Broly's even stronger than me, but I'm catching up to him. Well, you still got a way to go. You're still a better fighter than I am, Goku. Ah, thanks. It's like, what? Perhaps we should be able. You should contact them from your ship. Bring them here so we can discuss the matters at hand. Right. So Raditz goes to his ship, contacts them, and lets them know exactly what it is that Goku survived. Bardock and Broly, Paragus and Broly are here, and their powers made his scouter blow up. They may there could be a chance to finally, free themselves from the servitude they're in. But Vegeta just hears this like, interesting. You say they made your scouter blow up? Must have been an old model. We'll head over this Earth and see for ourselves. And so we'll be there in a year's time. And so now they gotta spend a year on the planet, just like, well, we should probably train just to be, or we should probably train you up, Rads. I sense your power isn't all that impressive. No offense. It's like none. And Rads is just like, perhaps some take. Not that I could take any of you on anyway, even if I was offended, which I'm not. And Goku's like, I think he's offended. And Bro's like, yeah, kind of. Now, luckily at this time, because they've had access to the Saiyan pods for so long, Bulma has made the gravity chambers at this point. So they've now been able to get some decent training in. That's probably where the 35 million power level and 15 million power level have been coming from. So they get to work on training Rads up. And they keep it simple for them, 10 times Earth's normal gravity to start with is the Saiyan power level, or the Saiyan gravity. So they instead go with 20, giving Rads an actual firm workout. Throughout the year, I mean, I don't imagine Goku or Broly getting much stronger. In fact, I don't think Broly really edges out at all. He just improves his technique. Goku gets a little bit stronger, maybe edging him out to 40, but Broly's still got the overall definitive lead. Rads gets a pretty good increase, though. I would go so far in a year's time with heightened gravity. Ooh, he could very well surpass Paragus, if I'm going to be honest. We don't know what Rad's true potential is like. We know that Daizenshuu says his power level, despite being claimed to be 12 by Nappa and Vegeta when they created the Cybermen, saying that they had the same power as him, was actually 15. So, I mean, look, a 25 times increase, not unrealistic at all. So, yeah, I'd actually say maybe he's about 40,000. He's not quite there yet. Paragus maybe gets some exercise in too. But remember, Paragus now is hitting his 60s. He's now starting to get older. And like, while Saiyans retain their youth for much longer, even once hitting 60, I imagine even that's what, they kind of rapidly age Saiyans. Once they hit a certain time span. We don't know what the actual time span is. I imagine it might start around 70 to 75. 60s maybe like on the cusp of starting to lose your edge, but at the moment he's still good, decent fighting shape. He probably gets a mild buff to like 75,000. Nothing serious. He is probably going to be the ultimate weakest among them. But then the year comes and passes. By the way, I should note, what's the other Z fighters doing at this point? Because while like individuals like Tien probably never stopped training, Yamcha went to be a baseball player, and Krillin also keeps training. they're kind of now irrelevant to the story. Piccolo's not around, so that's not another Z-Fire to challenge them. Uh, Power-wise, there's just nothing to keep them, especially with where we now have Goku and Broly and Paragus and now Radz. There's nothing to keep them at least somewhat in the same range as they were in the canon. It's just unfortunately not going to happen. So this really becomes the Saiyan story at this point. Obviously, Piccolo is sealed away. Kami's around. Um, but the Saiyans arrive. Vegeta and Nappa arrive, and Paragus says, "Ah, there you are. So, Ratids, tell me, where are these so-called? Where's your brother and these so-called other Saiyans? Like, we're right here, Prince Vegeta. We're right here, Vegeta." He says it with a little. There's certainly some disdain, but it's not like he openly you are the one who did this. No, he's smart enough to know, even though he's got a lot of anger on him, he's smart enough to know that is like, okay, Vegeta didn't do this, but that doesn't mean I'm happy with his attitude. He heard it straight from his blasted father. Now, Vegeta probably isn't aware of who Paragus or Nappa are, or Paragus and Nappa, Paragus or Broly are. But I actually would think Nappa might be. Paragus was clearly a higher ranked Saiyan than other Saiyans. We know he had a higher power than your average Saiyan. It wasn't like Saiyan Elite, like Vegeta, King Vegeta, even Broly. Even Bardock was closer to, was just shy, if we go by the Legend of Bardock special standards, shy of King Vegeta's power level at the time, 95 versus 10. So Nappa might actually know a little bit about the history, about Paragus, and maybe what happened. So when Nappa sees him, huh? No, it can't be Vegeta. Now, note, I'm doing a bridge Nappa's voice while I'm actually getting some more intellectual commentary. I think I remember them. His name was Paragus. You're Paragus, aren't you? But that would make you. No, that's impossible. What are you blabbing about, Vegeta? What are you blabbing about, Nappa? I don't remember much. We were still off-world, but I do remember hearing about a Saiyan that was banished from the planet because his power threatened your father. Threatened my father? And Paragus was I don't remember the boy's name, but I remember the father's name, Paragus. And he matches the description. Paragus, how'd you get here? Your father sent me and my son Broly off into the vast voice of space. He was aiming for an uninhabited planet. Fortunately, something went wrong with the navigation, and we managed to land here. We'd managed a pretty decent living. Managed to actually make firm comrades and good relations with the people of this planet. Actually have, weirdly, as weird as it is to say, friends. I must admit, though our Saiyan culture was powerful, it wasn't perfect. You could learn a lot from these people, Vegeta. We all could. We all could together, and together we could take down Frieza. And Vegeta's obviously Vegeta's a cocky son of a bitch and prideful. He doesn't think this is. You really think that I would take orders from you? Well, I agree. I want to take down Frieza more than anything. I'm not foolish enough to think that you're actually stronger than me, or you low-class filth. Don't do this, Vegeta. Don't do what? Exert my rightful royal dominance and place over you lot. Of course I'm going to do that. Isn't that right, Nappa? If that's right, you are the Prince, Vegeta, but I would be wary of them. They're not to be trifled. Oh, please, please. I could take them on. I can take them on, no problem. And then which Radz actually comes and says, "That's enough, Vegeta. That power is no joke. They surpass even you." And now Vegeta's it's only funny so often. Only people who can back up their talk should be able to brag, Ratids. You should know better than that. It's like, try me. It's like, oh, you wish to play. Very well. Nappa, show Reds what it means to show Reds what it means to know his place with pleasure. Because Nappa just assumes okay, these guys, I don't know anything about powers, and if what they said about King Vegeta was true, I might have to be worried that Broly guy. But this guy, but Reds, I know Reds. All right, buddy, you want to? It's been a while since we had a good spar. Let's see how you like this. And he just comes at Reds, just poof, grabs it. I'm not the same. I'm not the same Saiyan you saw last, and then just gut checks Nappa, just just. Nappa's just floored, out cold. Just, so you've improved quite a bit now, Raditz. Very well then. I guess I'll be the one to put you in your place. Powers up. He's 18,000. Rad's powers up as well. It's like you can try, and their fight begins. And now Vegeta was probably always the better fighter than Rad's because we really don't see very good technique from Rad's if we're going to be honest. But when you're pretty much more than double the opponent's power, technique doesn't mean much. With Goku, it's a bit different. Even though they're in the millions, 50 versus 40,000 isn't as huge a margin as you might think, compared to being twice as strong as someone, over twice as strong. So Raditz is just decimating Vegeta. Just impossible. I'm gonna get this strong. How did you do this? You think you could just treat me like this, you low-cost trash? I am Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. You don't disrespect me like this. It's like I'm not taking any more crap from you, Vegeta. We don't have to fight like this. But Paragus is right. That we can band against. We can take back and reform the Saiyan race here. Look, I mean, with Kakarot, with Paragus, with Broly, Kakarot's already had a son. With you, we could easily rebuild. He's had a son with who? I don't Saiyan women on this planet, as far as you know. No, it's like, well, no, my wife is just a person. You filthy half-breed. Yeah. And now, remember, this is early phase Vegeta. Yeah, he'd probably be more like that. Just a filthy half-breed, which Bulma just thinks through it. Is probably listening from somewhere, just like, that reminds Broly. I should probably tell him I'm pregnant. Which Broly just, Steve's like, you okay? He's like, I think Bulma's talking about me. So, that's it. I'll kill you all! Gallet Gun! Fire! He does the Gallet Gun. But Raz just like, blast right through, boom, blast him up in the sky. Meanwhile, Nappa comes to him and says, what happened? You tried to attack me, and I kicked your ass. Oh, yeah, that lines up right. Oh, God. And I would encourage you not to do it again, Nappa. I never really had that. It was Vegeta I had more of a problem with. You and I were usually all right. Right. Yeah, use what sense you have and your years of experience. You're the oldest one, Nappa. Use that experience. He's right, Nappa. We don't need to be doing this. So, yeah, you know what? I'm good. Maybe let's hear you out. But first, what about Vegeta? All of a sudden, they hear as Vegeta transformed. It's like, oh no. And to be fair, they can sense like Raditz and Paragus in both sense like, okay, without turning into apes, we're not going to be able to beat Vegeta this way. I'm going to crush you! And all of a sudden, boom, Goku comes in. It's like, all right, that's enough. And just flips Vegeta over. No, we're not doing this, Vegeta. Vegeta, all we want to do is get rid of a common threat. You don't have to be that common threat. You can be the one that helps us against this Freezer guy. It's Freezer, you not. He's like, yes, for God's sake, Goku, it's Kakarot. It's Freezer. We keep telling you, it's Freezer, not Freezer. Oh, sorry. Meanwhile, and by the way, Beats is around too, obviously. But Beats is probably just like, yeah, I'm here. Well, I actually forgot about Beats, yeah. It was Beats and Paragus, not Broly and Paragus, admittedly. But anyway, I made that mistake, but whatever. It's a mild mistake. Beats, by the way, could easily have kicked Vegeta's ass too at this point. Beats is probably hitting like the 30 range. Vegeta's just trying to land a hit on Goku, and Goku's like, no. You know the problem with the eight. You know the problem with our 8 forms? Too many blind. And just boom, too many blind spots. I'm gonna Just tries to do an energy blast from his mouth. Goku's just, nope. And say, all right, that's enough. Just floors ate Vegeta, but does not remove his tail. So, Vegeta transforms back. It all hurts. All of it. Pain. Now, are you willing to listen and play? If you're willing to listen, Vegeta, we can help you. We can help you get stronger, and we can all take down Frieza together. I'll never trust you or listen to you. Don't trust me. Trust your own logic. Do you really believe that you can beat Frieza even with your ape form? Even if you were to improve beyond this point, like Saiyans normally do, you still wouldn't be a match on. But Broly and Goku alone, Broly and Kakarot alone, have reached levels of power that Frieza probably couldn't even imagine. Or prepared for. You can get that strong too. We can all do this. We can form a new colony of the Saiyans here on Earth. There's boundful potential here for all of us. Please, Vegeta. I may have hated your father for what he did to us, but you can change that. Like, I can see this version of Paragus actually trying to make amends because he knows what they could have. And granted, he'd pretty much be, even though he's not the weakest, like second to weakest or third weakest at the moment, but Raditz will clearly overtake him because, unlike him, he's not an old Saiyan. I think he tried to make amends because he knows what's at stake. It's like, come on, do it, Vegeta. Come on, Vegeta. There's nothing. Come on, Vegeta. We don't have to do this. It's like, I lost it all. And to which Paragus finally tries to, if you don't do it for us, do it for your father. I may have hated the man for what he did, but he was still the one who made you who you are. Your lineage is from him. You are Vegeta the Fourth. Uphold your lineage and help the Saiyans be brought back. And I think that strike at his heritage and pride does make Vegeta relent. Like, this isn't over between us. And he gets up painfully. But I'll go along with it for now. Very well. From now on, they're going to need to do some train. Now we're going to need to get Ichu healed up and trained up. So how are we doing this exactly? And so that is where we're going to end part 5 with Vegeta and Nappa joining the Saiyan Coalition, as you will, on Earth. Now, where is Frieza and all this? Well, he's out and about. Now, normally I think Frieza would always find out about the Dragon Balls. However, I think he found out a lot sooner because of Vegeta and Nappa's trip to Earth. In this case, he didn't. In this case, that's not the case. They didn't learn about the Dragon Balls. So it's going to take a little while for Frieza to wonder where Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz are ultimately. But basically what they're going to do is basically set the bait, set the trap, and bring Frieza to them. But we'll have to wait until next time to see that. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I just would win Star Wars Super Magic. What if anything to the channel? Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.